It's the NVHA 250002, our 462nd interview overall, and we're in Madison, Mississippi. It's September the 25th, 2025, and we're here to interview Gary Yeck, and I want to thank you for allowing us to come and do this.
Sure.
And let's start off with the basics. What is your full name?
My name is Gary Robert Yeck.
Gary Robert. And what was your highest rank in the military?
Chief Warrant Officer 2.
So the Gary or the Robert, were those family names?
The Gary was Gary Cooper.
Okay.
And the Robert was my dad's name.
I see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Gary Robert.
Strong silent. I don't have a cowboy hat.
Yeah. We interviewed a guy, his name was Chad Everett, because his mother happened to like the TV show that he was on.
Yeah.
Well,
Gary Cooper was a big star in 1945.
Yeah, he still is. Well, Chief Warrant Officer Yeck, where were you born?
I was born in Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Oh, okay. Well, you're a long way from home.
Well, that was just a temporary stopover. My dad was in the Air Corps, U.S. Army Air Corps.
Oh, okay.
And that's where they put him after he completed his tour in Indonesia, Malaysia, India, CBI, China, Burma, India Theater.
Yeah.
That's what there was. And then he was. They were billeted in eastern India, and they would fly missions into Japanese held Malaya and North China, or China, and and the like.
Oh, our very first interview was with a CBI veteran.
Oh.
He was with the Air Corps in China.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, do you know how long he was in the war, when he might have gotten into?
He got into he enlisted in, I think it was February or March of 1943. No, 42.
42?
42, yeah. He was, let me see, I think it was only, when he enlisted, he was only like 18.
Okay.
He enlisted for flight training, and he became a bombardier.
Okay.
And a picture that I'm recalling of him standing at attention with his little butter bars and his wings.
Yeah.
He was 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can get a picture of a 19-year-old in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
A lot of them.
Moment of pride.
Yep.
What type of airplane did he fly?
A Mitchell B-25.
Oh, Mitchell.
Yeah.
My favorite. I like the Mitchell. Oh, tell me about your mother. What was her name?
Her name was Alice Eileen Malloy.
Okay.
And she was from Chicago. They met in, I think it was Greenville, South Carolina. That's where he was in Bombardier School. And they were married in 1943.
So how was it that she was there?
She was working at the BX.
Okay.
Everybody went to work.
Yeah.
One way or another. So she had a job in the BX, and they hooked up, became friends, and the rest is history, they say.
Wow. Yeah, I've always thought it was interesting how people get together.
Yeah.
I mean, that is about as.
Yeah. Well, my dad was born in Concord, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Which is not too far from Springfield. And he was, his family moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico in 1927, I believe. So they moved during the good days before before the stock market crash. My grandpa was a farmer, and he had put together a dry cleaning shop. And when people didn't need dry cleaning anymore, after 1929, he was out of that business. However, he stayed in the business with somebody else, working for somebody else for the rest of his life, pretty much.
That'd be kind of hard.
Yeah, standing up all day long, pressing pants, pressing shirts. Yeah.
But so many people back then never got off the farm until the war.
Yeah.
They never were outside of their county until the war. And then all of a sudden, people from all over the place are meeting each other.
Thrown together.
Going to all kinds of places around the country and the globe.
We had there's a huge training facility here. It's a National Guard base now, and it's down around Wiggins. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of guys went through that. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Okay.
Dylan.
Camp Shelby.
Camp Shelby.
Camp Shelby. All right.
Camp Shelby.
Where did you say Shelby?
And that's where Sheila's parents met.
And that's where my wife's parents met. And my stepmom, my mother-in-law, was from Wiggins.
Yeah.
And she met a guy from Indiana, northern Indiana. That's the Fort Wayne connection.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And he was in the Army, and they got married. Sheila was born in 1944.
Yeah.
So she's 8 months older than I am.
Wow.
But
Yeah. What
I don't hold that against her.
what was your mother like? Was she a quiet person, an outgoing person? How would you describe her to folks?
My mother was the mother to 5 boys.
Yeah.
And she was very mom-oriented. You know, the wives didn't work in those days outside the home. Not to say they didn't work, they worked a lot. Yeah. They worked their fannies off. I was born in 45. Okay, then I have a brother a year younger, 16 months younger than me, almost Irish twins. And then we had, I had another brother who was 7 years younger, 12 years, and 16. So I was 16 when the baby was born.
Okay.
And she was an Air Force wife. My dad got out of the service after the war. He was a policeman, a mechanic. I can't tell you what else he did after the war, but he was a policeman when he got recalled. He stayed in the reserves, and in 1951 he was recalled. He did not have to go to Korea, but he was sent to Biloxi, down here to Keesler, to retrain in electrical countermeasures. And that's pretty much what he worked in the rest of his Air Force career.
Okay. How would you describe your dad?
My dad was like, what I'm coming to know is my dad was like most of the veterans coming back from war. Still being early 20s.
Right.
He was 23 when I was born. Very quiet about the war. Could fly off the handle in a minute, or no, half a second. He was very scary on Saturday mornings. He was a beat cop for some of those years in downtown Albuquerque. So there was always 2 of them. They didn't go out alone. He became a motorcycle cop, and I think he was still riding at the time that he was called back into the reserves. Didn't say much, expected a lot.
Yeah. Saw a lot. He saw a lot. I mean, the service and the police work.
Yeah. He did. He, I'm trying to remember the history. They went on a ship. They went on a ship around, I want to say it went around Africa, because you couldn't go the other way because of the Japanese. So it did. They went on a ship to the west coast of Africa, the northwest coast of Africa. Then they transported around to India, to eastern India. So it was quite a journey for them to get there. They went over as a unit. The bomb wing, the group, the squadron. At least at the squadron level, they were all together. But the bomb wing was. They were all new. I mean, it was trying to stop the Japanese and having to have airplanes out there.
Right.
Didn't have aircraft carriers that could make those short hops. Of course, the Mitchells could fly from halfway across the Pacific, but they couldn't fly back.
Yeah, that whole CBI theater was a very strange part of the war that a lot of people don't connect with. But
No.
they had to make their own way in a lot of cases.
Yeah. The idea that they were bombing bridges, railway construction, railways, trains, boats, dams. They developed a process called skip bombing, where they would fly low level and drop the bomb and it would skip into the dam. Just like throwing a rock across a pond.
Yeah, big rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a lot of damage. You break a dam down, all of a sudden that wall of water
Yeah.
coming at you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You mentioned there were five of you.
Yeah.
Give me their names and a little something about what's happened to them in life.
Well, my next brother, Stephen, was killed in a car wreck. He was an airman in the Air Force, and he was killed in a car wreck in 1966. He was stationed in Indiana. He was stationed at air base south of Indianapolis.
Oh, in Columbus?
No.
There was Stout Field, and then there was that was in Indy. The Collar, was it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in 1966, he was killed in an automobile accident.
Yeah.
Mel was born in '52, and he served in the Army. He did a tour in South Korea. He came back and got into theatrical production type stuff for the military, where with the big speakers and anytime you had a big production, he was one of those guys. Then he got into computer management. He was a project manager for a couple of different banks.
Had an interesting life.
And he lived in Seattle. He got off to Seattle. So where it all started, 5 boys. I left first in 1963, went to Albuquerque again. They were stationed, they were on their way to Dayton, Ohio. Then my brother Stephen, the one that was killed, left in '64. He was a year behind me. Mel hung around with my mom and his brothers there until he was 18. Then he went off to the Army. He was stationed in Detroit for a while. Not sure what he was doing. It might have been some training or not. But he had a motorcycle. And he would ride that motorcycle between Detroit and Dayton, no matter what the weather was. One time he got a ticket for tailgating a semi. The ticket was for tailgating, but of course he was drafting the semi.
Yeah.
And so that's him. Then Michael was a football player who injured his knee.
Oh.
So he was, he fulfilled part of his dream to play football. He was in a lot of business. He was in security at a atomic energy power station, power plant. He was in. He eventually got into online retailing, catalogs. They did a lot of the stuff in that cabinet there is from Swarovski and other places that you'd know if you like little trinkets and things that show off in your cabinet. So he retired from that maybe a couple years ago. The baby was in the Marines, and he got into cryptography, where codes. He got into the code business, and he was in that. He was in the Marines for 4 years. Marines, that's what it was. And he did a few things after that until he got into training. So he was in. He was up in northern, in the UP, in the UP there in Michigan, at a small community college, trying to build a training program for industry, which there's not a lot of industry up there, or whoever else would pay for it. And so and then he spent 6 years in the United Arab Emirates with a girls' school there. Yeah. He was a dean of some sort. They got tired of that, and they came back to the States then. But he stayed in that line, trying to build up programs in upstate New York, places where they around Corning, New York, and West, and the college that he finally, his final college was went out of business. So it was a private school, went out of business. Wouldn't do any good for me to say what it was. Then who knows what he did? He wrote a play. He did one of those self-produced plays. He was very bitter about the POW situation in Vietnam. Why haven't we? What happened to the 2,048 guys that were missing?
Oh, the missing. Okay.
The missing in action. Yeah, not POW, but some of them might have been POWs.
MIAs.
But these were MIAs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I misspoke there. I'm sorry. So he was an advocate for those guys, and put this play on. I went to see a preview of it in Dayton. Yeah, it was a very patriotic type of play. Yeah, he's a patriot. My brother's a patriot for sure. He is the director of the veterans recovery, the Veterans Recovery Project, and that's in North Carolina, and that's a farm, the Veterans Farm, and they do so many things for veterans in that area, and for veterans coming through, for the homeless, for homeless vets, for skill building, helping guys find jobs, get jobs, and working in the fields, and selling the produce to benefit the GIs, former GIs.
Be a great tool.
Yeah, he's his name is Alan Yeck, and if you ever have the time, he's on YouTube right now. He's doing an interview with some lady up there. So, and he's getting more detail than I am because details are fading away from my head. Now, he's only 67, I think.
Did you know your grandparents on either side of the family?
I knew my dad's parents. Yes,
Okay.
they were great people to me. They had their, coming through the Depression, coming off the farm, coming through the Depression. That area of the area of Illinois, like I said, it's not too far from Springfield. Beautiful, gorgeous farmland. Pushes up so many bushels of corn per acre. It's just bread basket. If you like cornmeal, but it's just the most fertile place I've ever seen.
Wow.
Driving down through that area of Illinois. Yeah, nothing. My wife and I drove from Minnesota, cut across, came down to Illinois, and that trip we only went as far as wherever the university is, University of Illinois. But we couldn't see anything. There was no gas stations. There was nothing. There was nothing but corn, corn, corn. We're going to get somewhere soon. No signs. Chicago, 150 miles that way.
Yeah.
Who knew it was down that way?
Two different states, actually.
Yeah. It was, where is the university? Again.
Well, my mother grew up in Willow Hill, Illinois. It's a lot smaller than Chicago.
Okay, but I bet it's not smaller than Concord. Where's Willow Hill?
Willow Hill is about 35 miles southwest of Terre Haute.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Okay, I had a car wreck in Terre Haute one time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing up all kinds of bad memories.
Yeah. We survived. We were driving we had a big Lincoln car.
Yeah.
And we hit a little car that turned in front of us.
Ooh.
And nobody was hurt. Thankfully,
good.
nobody was hurt. So
Yes.
but that other car was wiped out. It was. Yeah, I went to the University of New Mexico when I was the first 3 years of school.
Okay.
And we would drive. I had a friend from Pittsburgh. So we would load into 6 guys in the car and head to Pittsburgh and drop people off along the way. I think I might have been the first or second one to get dropped off. Yeah. And just drive 24 hours. It was a 24-hour drive from Albuquerque to Dayton. Yeah. And, of course, the interstates were not built then.
Oh, yeah.
In 1962, they were still under construction. Yeah. So we could hit a little patch, maybe go 10 or 12 miles and have to get back off.
Highway 40.
Highway 40,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah. 66.
Mm-hmm.
Route 66.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother went to school with Burl Ives, so that was her claim to fame.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, I didn't get your grandparents' names. Would you just describe?
Gene and Alma Yeck.
Okay. And did you know your parents or your grandparents on the other side?
My grandmother on my mother's side died in 1942, so she died before I was born, or 43. She had cancer. My grandfather, I knew him he would come and visit us. He worked for Railway Express And when I was a little boy in Albuquerque, he would ride the train
Huh.
from Chicago down. And so we would see him once every couple of years. We moved. I went to 14 schools in 12 years.
Wow.
So that's how often we were packing up and moving.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, in 1959 or 60, again, I was in the 8th grade, or I could have been a freshman, I don't know. I was already caddying in the afternoons, carrying golf bags. But he came to live with us. He was in the end stages of his cancer.
Mm.
And so he came to live in our house, and we had a smaller house. We converted it to fit his needs.
Right.
And then when it got down to the hospice, really, truly, he was hospice when he came to see us. But in the last couple of days of his life, he died at the VA hospital in Dayton. He's a pretty good guy. He had 7 children.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
They had 7 children. And that was John and Marie Malloy.
okay. So you lived in a lot of places, a lot of towns. You started out in Carlsbad and then
Carlsbad to Albuquerque.
in Albuquerque.
Albuquerque to Biloxi, Gulfport.
Okay. So following a military path there
Yeah.
from
Oh,
your
yeah.
dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you talked about my school and my military, they sort of ran together.
Yeah.
As a dependent.
Yeah, Albuquerque is not like Biloxi.
Not at all. No.
So you saw a lot of different places.
Yeah.
Did you have one of those places along the way that you really liked and you kind of thought of more as the home that you gravitate to as a boy?
I thought Albuquerque was going to be it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things didn't work out.
I had a nephew who lived in Albuquerque. And Ernie Pyle and his wife lived in Albuquerque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the library that used to be their home.
Yeah, his mother was the librarian when we were there the first time.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's the connection to, that's how it wound up being a library, apparently.
Could be.
Kind of fell along that.
Somebody just.
By chance?
I have a 1942 book. I have a 1942 copy of Brave Men.
Mm-hmm.
It's not autographed. I can't say it's a first printing, but
Yeah.
it is a first. I mean, it's early copy. 43.
I have the same book.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I
Good
loved
book.
it. I like the what is the movie? The G.I. Joe, the story of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Burgess Meredith. That
Yeah.
was a great movie.
I thought he did that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Ernie Pyle?
Oh no, he was killed.
Okay.
He was killed.
Oh, that's right.
in
He would have
World
been
War
killed
II.
before you were
In
born.
he had
That's
he had left Europe and went to fight in the islands
Yeah.
against the Japanese.
Yeah.
And he was picked off by a sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've often kind of wondered about that. It was sort of a rookie error that he did. The pinned down by a machine gun, and then he just raised his head.
Oh.
Was he at the point where he just didn't care anymore?
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, but I
know
yeah,
it sure.
It got.
I think he was pretty beaten up by all that he'd seen, the troubles he was having with his wife at home. She was struggling.
I didn't know all of that.
Yeah. I mean,
But that's we lived not too far on. So we went to Biloxi, but we lived in Biloxi and Gulfport. 2 reasons why I went to. How many schools I went down there? I went to Gulfport, then I went to Lopez, and then the 2nd grade I started was the Catholic school. Then we moved again. We had to move. We had to get a place to live, temporary, which I didn't realize that was temporary. It was a very nice little house, and it had a Dutch door. I thought that was so cool. I was only in the 1st grade.
yeah.
And we lived down the road, the street we lived on. If you go back, there was a place called Old Joe's Junkyard. And they had dogs. You know, we weren't supposed to go down there at all, but we would venture down there just to see what it looked like. Where's Joe? Where's the dogs? Somebody had a magazine clip that they got from Old Joe's Junkyard. Somebody's, I don't know. I just remember that magazine clip. This is not, you know, wasn't.
Yeah.
This is like that M16, M1, I'm not sure. No, you loaded the M1 from the top. Old Joe's Junkyard, and Saturday night, go down to the beach and look at all the people with the lanterns and gigging flounder. Gig flounder. Oh, and the shrimp and the fish we ate down there was so good.
Yeah.
Never had it like that ever again. That was something.
Wow.
Because the boats would come right in there. The shrimp boats are coming, and here they're there. They, you know, the gamblers pushed them all out. I don't know where the shrimpers come now.
What is it about the word don't? Mother will say don't, and the boy hears go. It's just
well, curiosity.
Curiosity. Want to know what's on the other side?
Yep. Another time we lived in outside of Marietta, Georgia. Well, we were in Marietta, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. Dobbins Air Force Base is where my dad was. And there was an old glider frame that had crash landed in a ditch down the street again.
Wow.
But that was a playground.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was in a ditch. And we had the greatest war scenes ever. And it was just the frame. You know, there was no controls or any of that. There was nothing there. Just
You had fun as a boy.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you to list.
Thought about that for a while.
I want to ask you to list the schools that you went to because it would take the rest of the night. But
Yeah.
Did you have any teachers or coaches along the way that kind of stood out to you? And
I had that I can remember. I had my second grade teacher. I liked her. I did very well in the fifth grade, so I must have liked that teacher. So when I was in the sixth grade, we moved to Wright-Patterson. And so we had nuns there. We had sisters, not nuns, sisters, because they were not cloistered. They were in the community of Order of Mary. And I had a 7th and an 8th grade teacher that were very strict, but they were the best. They were the best.
yeah.
Then in the 8th grade, Miss Wildenhouse came. Miss Wildenhouse was doing her teacher intern at the University of Dayton, and Miss Wildenhouse was beautiful, and she was so nice to all the boys. I think I'm 80 now, and I think about Miss Wildenhouse. She's got to be 88 if she's still living.
Yeah.
So, and it turns out that she was the sister of a guy I knew when I went to when I was a freshman
Oh, really?
at Chaminade High School, the Catholic boys' high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're cradle Catholic.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
You know, my second wife was Catholic, and quite a gal.
Good.
She was amazing. Even the last 4 years of her life may have been the best 4 years of her life, because she
Also, yeah.
she always kind of hid her worth and didn't think that she was very influential, but people just fell in love with her.
Ah.
She was just, she's a kid, she was a mischievous Catholic kid who somehow lost her way and got out of heaven, wound up down here, and belonged there.
Okay.
And that's just the way she was.
So she was involved in a lot
So I
around the church probably then, huh?
got a nice, I got a nice
Community.
thing for Catholics. They
Yeah.
remind me of those good days. She was
Good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So what were your good subjects in school?
I liked history the best.
That's great.
I still like history. I liked history the best. I went to so many schools. I always did well in school. Geometry, until I ran into geometry. When I was a sophomore in high school, I was just like, what is this stuff? What is this stuff? You memorize this and all these shapes and things, and it's like angles and shapes. If you got, it never registered very well as far as figuring out the problems. So, but I did well. I did okay in calculus. Trig was another mystery for me, but calculus worked out pretty well for me.
Oh, but darn.
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
I did very well in English, and I did very well in writing and composition.
That's quite a balanced situation there. Usually people who like history are not good in math, and people who like math are not good in English. Or, that's
I wasn't. I mean, I had to work at calculus. I really did. These times when I went to university, like I told you, I was at the University of New Mexico for 3 years, 5 semesters really, and accounting and finance. Now I found accounting to be a real challenge.
really.
Then, years later, when I was working on a master's degree at University of Southern Mississippi, and we were taking a managerial accounting course, and I found that to be really interesting. And I thought, wonder what happened to me in between. Let me see, from the time I was 18 till the time I was 44.
You got 30 seconds.
You graduated high school in 1963, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. And so you would have been very much aware of the Kennedy assassination. What do you remember about that?
Well, before that, I remember the Cuban crisis.
Yeah.
I was playing football at Robert E. Lee High School in Montgomery, Alabama. My dad was there for a 9-month course. It was a career course for him. It was required if you wanted to be more than a captain.
Okay.
You had to go to that school. So on the football field one Friday, in the middle of the Cuban crisis, our coach called us together and said, "Okay, boys," it wasn't a Friday, It was a Monday or Tuesday because we had a game on Friday. He says, "Okay, boys, I'm here to tell you not to worry about a thing. This Cuban crisis is going to blow over, and I don't want to hear another word about it. Let's go out there and play some ball." And sure enough, he predicted it, and it came true.
Yeah.
Then the next year, when I was in Albuquerque on that November day, that was a Friday. That Kennedy was assassinated on a Friday.
Yeah.
I was in an English class, freshman English, and I walked out of the class not knowing anything, and people were talking up and down the hall, and I ran into my cousin. Yeah, he graduated from high school there, and he still lives there. So I said, "Hey, what's going on?" He says, "Kennedy's been assassinated, and they also shot the governor of Texas, and Lyndon Johnson is the next president, is the new president."
Yeah.
Well, all of that was supposing all that. But Kennedy had been assassinated. He was dead. They didn't take the Johnson took the oath of office on the airplane, and that night, my fraternity, everything was canceled except my fraternity. We had a party. It was not a party.
Yeah,
It was like we all stood. It wasn't a band party. It was a cocktail party, and people just stood and watched the TV. Instead of just canceling it, we went on with it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty how much that went. It was not a happy party. It was not a happy day for the country. It was very sad.
Yeah.
Sadness.
I tell people the world turned black and white for 4 days.
Yeah.
Because all we did was sit and watch the TV, and
Yeah.
most TVs were black and white back then.
That's right.
What a shock! And then when Oswald was killed right in front of you,
Yep.
That was so strange.
That's surreal. Well, what was that guy doing here? Oh, he knew one of the cops.
Yeah.
Jack
Ruby.
Ruby.
You were talking about.
Well,
Oh, go
then when Robert Kennedy was assassinated, that was the day I graduated from flight school, and I was in my car driving north, and that's all that was on the radio was Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
That one. When I was in flight school in February, March. Martin Luther King was assassinated.
Yeah, just think, what's going on?
What is going on
Yeah.
here in the world? Yeah,
The whole world's going crazy.
yeah,
I think it's got crazier since, but
it has. There's this,
sad way.
it's very sad to think about things, that there are people who are so insane, deranged. Probably Oswald, he wasn't right. He wasn't right in the head.
Yeah.
And these other assassinations. Now, the guy that shot Martin Luther King was just a Ku Klux Klan guy from probably the minute he was born.
Yeah.
And, had this hatred for black people and for Martin Luther King for stirring people up. And Byron Della Beckwith, right? Was that Byron Della Beckwith, or who was it that assassinated
King?
Medgar Evans? That was Beckwith.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. James Earl Ray.
James Earl Ray, Martin Luther King. Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, how did he get the money to travel to England?
Yeah.
Ex-con, somebody was behind it.
Yeah.
And Sirhan, what was his purpose?
Yeah.
What was his motive?
Never been
It
clear.
just never rang square
No.
with me. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty tough things, but it bothered you. And that's the
Yeah.
thing that bothers me, is that it doesn't bother people now when these things happen.
Well, I think a lot of America was bothered 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, that was the first time I've seen people really care about a thing like that.
Yeah. Well,
But there's people just so cavalier about life and how they treat each other.
Yes.
I wasn't taught that way.
right. Well,
So
back to me.
you graduated high school in '63, and you say, is that Montgomery?
Yeah.
Okay. And from there, how long was it before you went into service?
Oh, I went in 1967.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So in the years between, what did you do?
Well, I worked. I was in first 3 years. I was in school at the University of New Mexico,
Okay.
and I was supposedly studying business. That was a lack of attention. I wasn't really focused. But one of the things that I did was that summer, after my freshman year, I worked for the U.S. Forest Service.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I worked on the Santa Fe National Forest, just as one of the hands,
Huh.
summer student hand, and worked with some chainsaws and some axes, and we had a tiny little forest fire that one of our guys had put a line around it before the rest of us had got there. But it was out it was between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, up in the foothills going into the Jemez Mountains, or Jemez Mountains. All my life I called them the Jemez Mountains. And then we worked outside of Jemez Springs. I guess things changed. We have some really lifelong friends, and they went out there for a visit, and they came back talking about Jemez. And I thought, well, I don't know that I'm gonna ever change what I called the place.
You ever thought you'd like to continue in forestry work?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did continue in forestry.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, after I got
Oh.
out of the Army,
Okay.
I went to forestry school at the University of Florida.
Okay. Yeah. Didn't know they had any forests in Florida.
Whoa, yeah, we have.
When I first went down there and we crossed the Florida line, I was a kid, you know. I'm thinking, where's the beach? There's all these trees here.
Yeah, right, yeah. I'm trying to think of there's the Ocala National Forest.
Yeah.
Okeechobee.
And that's not a national forest.
What's that?
Yeah.
No, that's a park.
I thought it was National Forest.
See, that's a lot of people make those mistakes.
Yeah.
I learned something.
Between the Park Service and the Forest Service is that was one of these political things, and
Yeah.
that happened around the 1910 or something like that. So that's why we have two agencies that are, well, the two agencies are, the Forest Service is a development agency. Restoration, forest restoration.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a southern forest. There wouldn't be any southern forests if it hadn't been for the Forest Service. That's just the way it is. Timber companies came through here and slicked it all over. The Park Service is totally fixed on preservation. So they won't cut a tree without a court order, it seems like.
Yeah.
We can't cut trees because of court orders. So. But both agencies have a purpose.
Right.
If Trump was really serious about cutting costs, there would only be one agency. There would only be one. There would only be one department to manage these two agencies.
Yeah.
You don't need two departments and all the overhead.
Yeah, it
that
seems
goes
like
with it.
those two could fit together.
Well, they don't fit together because they don't. They just don't gee-haw.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
agree.
I was on a forest fire out in California, and that's just like, and it was on National Forest, and it was on the National Park. It was on the Yosemite National Park and
Yeah,
then the
Yosemite.
adjoining National Forest.
Sequoia.
No, it wasn't. It was
Sequoia's close to there, but Yosemite,
no. This was again.
Yosemite.
No, Yosemite. No, Yosemite is in. Yosemite is a national park,
Okay.
and the national forest that abuts that
Oh,
national park.
yeah.
So the Forest Service is fighting fire there, and the Park Service is fighting fire, and the fire is a fire.
Yeah.
You know, there's no boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
boundaries. So, anyway, that was interesting. But I was a food unit leader there, and we were feeding 5,000 people a day out of that contracted food services. And, the fastest growing town in the state of California for 3 weeks.
I bet.
Yeah. And then everybody went home.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we stayed until the snow came. That's usually how it happens.
See. So, 67 comes around. Were you drafted,
19
enlisted? What's the deal there?
1966, I was out of school. I was working for Ohio Bell, and that's the summer my brother was killed. So in 1966, in July, is when he was killed. And I stayed on with Ohio Bell, and then I went to work for a paving company. And then I had read about the Warrant Officer Flight Training Program, and so I started trying to get into the Army to join the flight program.
Okay.
And it just took a long time. Even then, it took a long time. So I had a 4-hour test to take, and I had to go down to Cincinnati to take it. And at 2 o'clock, a guy walks out and says, "You only got 2 hours to take this test." I said, I had to take a bus down here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me have a shot at it. So anyhow, it didn't work out. Yeah, can't leave half of the questions unanswered. But I didn't have to take the test again. They were serious about filling up these flight schools. They were serious about Army aviation and air mobile. So in probably October, they told me that I could, that my score was high enough given the extenuating circumstances. What the answers I had would have passed me. They were passing.
Right.
If I didn't have the other answers that I didn't even get to. So there I found myself in that.
Yeah.
Even that, I took an oath in January of '67. Went to basic training at Fort Polk, Louisiana. Got out of there in May and went down to Fort Walters, Texas, which is outside of Mineral Wells, Texas,
Okay.
which is west of Fort Worth. And I started the program eventually with starts and stops and pneumonia. It eventually, it took it took a year. So I was in that for a year.
How'd you like boot camp?
What?
How'd you like boot camp in Fort Polk?
That was all right. I mean, I was wasn't, you know, I had been in the forests and stuff before, not being in the southern forest. I had a great drill sergeant. Then he got sick. So we had a corporal to be our drill sergeant for a while. And the other drill sergeants took advantage of the fact that he was a corporal. And they all ranked. They were all E6s, and he was an E4. Yeah, E4. So we got a lot of the cleanup, a lot more cleanup work than we were going to do, KP and that kind of stuff. But it was decent. There was, you know, there's a camaraderie there.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. You know, that's very evident. Very evident.
Yeah.
The idea that you would question any command that you were given as a buck private trainee is like, why would you do that? Why would you want to do 500 push-ups in one day?
Yeah.
So discipline was very good in those days.
Well, you were more mature than a lot of the fellows going through boot camp. You'd have some life experience. You'd been brought up by the nuns who could be tougher than that.
Well, yeah. But the company that we were in, there's three classifications. There's a US, which is a draftee, and there's an NG, which is the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not right. What did I say US was? US is a volunteer. Sign up. Join up. The National Guard and the draftee. What was that? Doesn't matter anymore.
I guess it doesn't.
It's not in my head anymore right
No,
now.
it's okay.
Without jumping up and looking through a book. So we had a National Guard, Louisiana National Guard guys in there. And I thought, these guys sound like they're from New York. And they're from New Orleans. I said, what part of Brooklyn are you from? Plaquemines County. Plaquemines Parish. Okay. So that was, you know, we had a lot of 18-year-olds that were U.S. volunteers.
Yeah.
At that time, we did, really, in our company. And it was good. It was not, it was hard. It was focused. There it is. There was a focus in the training. It wasn't just go down there and run through walls without a purpose.
Okay, so you
Basic training was
training, Fort Polk.
at Fort Polk.
And then you went to Texas for advanced training?
No, we went to for advanced training. That's where we went to flight school.
Flight school, okay.
The primary flight training center was at Fort Walters, Texas.
Okay.
And that's where we learned to fly the trainers.
Yeah.
They had two there. They had a Hughes aircraft, and they had a Hiller aircraft. The Hughes had a three-blade system, and it was shaped like a little egg. The Hiller looked more like it had a big bubble, and had a drive shaft. Okay, here's how it goes. Drive shaft goes like this, and then up to the rotor, to the transmission, the transmission, and all of that set. So that sits just behind the pilot. Mm-hmm. It's a two-seater. Both of them were two-seaters.
Right.
And I flew the Hiller. H-13. No, it wasn't an H-13. It was a Hiller. Hiller built. So that was that was 9 months flight training. First 30 days were pre-flight. So down, you didn't go up to the hill until for 30 days. So we went all through military protocol, officers, warrant officers. Where does a warrant officer fit into this picture? Between a lieutenant and a captain? No, a warrant officer is a technical person that's flying in the Army, Air Force. They're technicians. They have a specific job. They're not commanding. They don't command. They're outside of the command structure. But they are a higher grade than enlisted. You don't receive a commission, you receive a warrant. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I hadn't heard that distinction.
Yeah. You're commissioned by the president, you're warranted by the Congress.
Ah, okay.
And all the warrant officers I knew were pilots. In the Army. And I didn't know any. I knew there were warrant officers in the Navy and in the Army, the Marines. Wasn't sure what their function was.
So how did you wind up piloting helicopters? I mean, is that something they sort of put you in that direction, or something you?
No, I enlisted to do that.
You enlisted to do that?
Yes, that
Okay.
was my contract.
Okay.
We're going to send you to flight school. We're not going to guarantee that you're going to graduate. And if you don't graduate, we're going to send you back to advanced infantry training or something else.
All right.
Okay.
It's a pretty good incentive to fly.
Yeah.
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 Had you flown anything before?
No.
First time?
First time was when I got in the machine there in Fort Walters, Texas.
Yeah. So.
I learned a lot about them, but I didn't ever.
Did it
It was
take
the
you
first time
long?
I ever was in a helicopter.
Yeah. Did it take you long to master
Yes.
the skill?
Yes. It was,
Yeah.
well, you didn't have a long time to master it, but it was very difficult for me to learn how to hover. That's the first thing after you learn how to turn it on.
Yeah.
And the eyepiece says, "This is how you hover." And of course, he's just smooth as glass. And he sets it down. He says, "Okay, your turn." Of course, he's like this on the controls, light on the controls, and go.
Yeah, I would think it'd be kind of.
They really do. They take you out in a 40-acre field. There's a lot of 40-acre fields in Central Texas.
Yeah.
And to set it down and give you a chance to hover all over the place. I mean, it's like they're there to make sure that you don't kill both of you, for sure. They're there to, give you time to get familiar. The ones that I had were really. It takes a special skill to be an instrument, to be an instructor pilot. And we had contractors. We had Southern Aviation contractors,
Okay.
and we had U.S. Army warrant officers, lieutenants, officers that had done a tour and were still in active duty, and so they were converted into instructor pilots, and so they had all survived a tour in Vietnam, A lot of the contractor guys were Vietnam veterans also. Some of them were, at that time, some of them were Korean War veterans.
Were there dual controls in that?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't just, if you're not
No.
doing it right, I'll scream at you a little louder.
No.
He could actually help you out a little bit.
No.
All right. I didn't know how that
They had full control.
Okay.
The instructor pilot has full control in an Army helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to really get comfortable with flying?
Well, the hardest thing is to hover. The next hardest thing is, I mean, it's easier to figure out how to land than it is to hover. It's easier to fly in straights, rights, and lefts. It's just getting familiar and getting comfortable in an aircraft, knowing that, yes, sometimes you do have to jerk, but most of the time you're just using your fingers. Wow. You have you guys never flew before, did you? Have you ever flown a helicopter?
Never been.
Okay.
Never been.
So, the way this thing works is you have, you got your main rotor up here, and it's going in the breeze, and the paddles are articulated so that when you can tip the whole thing forward with this it's called a cyclic.
Okay.
So it'll tip forward. You can tip it forward, and you can bring it back, not too far, or else
Yeah.
you'll get some. It'll bump against the mast a little bit before it cracks, something big happens. If you do it real fast, it'll happen real fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's forward and back. That's also sideways. You're tipping your rotor, the plane of your rotor. You're sitting on a cushion, say.
Yeah.
You're sitting on a cushion of air. And so you tip it, and it'll go this way, tip it this way, and it'll go that way. The thing that makes it go up is the collective it's power. The throttle is over here at the end of a stick, and the rest of the stick controls the pitch of the blades.
Right.
And so as you're adding power, you also have to compensate with your tail rotor.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have pedals, just like you do on an airplane.
Okay.
The pedals will help you stay straight. They'll help you stay in trim. They'll keep you from going around in a circle. Mm-hmm. If you pull power without compensating with a pedal, pushing your left foot,
Yeah.
it will spin itself into the ground, tip it over. If you're reducing power, it'll spin it the other way. So that's what the tail rotor does.
Okay.
It also, the tail rotor is set up so that those blades are moving.
Okay.
They're not prehensile, but they articulate. So that they're catching the air, pushing against what the rotor head is doing. The rotor head wants to take you that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or this way. So you apply your counter torque. The torque wants to take you one way. The tail rotor is for the counter torque to take you back the other way, and you get it balanced up.
Yeah.
So there's a coordination there that you have to learn. Your brain and your muscles in your body, everything, and your mind. It's a mind, and it's muscular, skeletal. It's just, and when it all comes together, it's beautiful. And so you get to learn how to do that. You get to learn how to land. You get to learn how to, your IP will cut your power off, and you get to learn how to auto-rotate. And it's like going to the top of Coney Island on a
Or a roller coaster.
on a roller coaster. and then it just dumps it over us like that. So your stomach is going.
I can imagine.
So your stomach, it takes, it really takes all your muscles and all your, for coordination. But then when you learn all this stuff, it becomes very finite. Now, pulling the collective up very, very slowly. I mean, you just get it up in the air, and then you just sort of push it forward a little bit. And it will eventually get ground speed. You'll get enough ground speed that it wants to pick up. So, and you're pulling up on the power, and you're pulling up on the pitch to make it bite. And it'll grab. It'll finally grab that air in front of it, and there you go.
Wow.
Just like the wing on a fixed wing.
Sure.
Only it's
Yeah,
rotary
it's going
wing.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really
It's sort of an unnatural. Yeah, I mean, we're used to steering wheel, brake, and accelerator.
Yeah.
And that's a very almost an unnatural way to do. So it would take a lot of finesse and practice and to get comfortable with that.
Igor Sikorsky. What did they tell him? You'll never make one of those things fly. He figured it out.
Yeah.
You couldn't design a bumblebee if you had to make it fly.
Oh, well, yeah, I have great respect for helicopter pilots.
Oh, and it all comes together. And I would hate to go out today and say that I could, after all these years, but it's in my head. It's like riding a bike, they tell me. Some
It
people,
probably would be. Yeah. Once you come up to speed, your hands remember what your brain was taught, and
that's right.
once you get it from here to here,
Yeah.
I could see where riding a bicycle was hard
Yeah,
when I first did
when you
it,
first
and now I can hop
took
on
off.
it, just
Yep.
go, and
Yeah, well, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I can't ride a bike anymore.
now it's one thing to fly it in a 40-acre field, but it's another to fly it through a jungle with people shooting at you.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah. Practice.
yeah. So once you mastered the helicopter, where'd you go from there?
Oh, well, they sent us to Fort Rucker, Alabama,
Okay.
and we went to instrument training there.
Oh,
And,
okay.
it was the same kind of a helicopter with all of the windows with a hood.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the bubble was blocked, but mainly you had a hood like this, so you couldn't see. I mean, you had no side peripheral vision or forward vision, and then you just flew the instruments. We had altimeter, okay, about what's the altitude. We had a compass. We had a radio that a radio compass. Say it's a radio compass. You go all through your ground procedures, and you get the IP. Then is he's your controller, and so he says, go up to 1500, level off, fly a heading of 340. And then to land it like that, or to take it off like that. So I've already learned how to take it off. Now do it without being able to see the ground or the horizon. And instrument takeoff, ITO, instrument landing, ILS. That's really cool. You can, 'cause again, at altitude, there's every airport with an ILS radio wave has a map, and it's got the directions on it. You approach the airport this way, then you do this. If you approach it this way, then you do this. You call in, you get in, you're down. There's a pattern. Every airport in the world's got a pattern. Come in, you're going downwind, you're going crosswind, you're turning to final.
Mm-hmm.
You take off into the wind, crosswind, one way or the other. Okay. Base, you're landing. You get into your pattern, your longitudinal pattern that way, up and down, and at this altitude, enter at this altitude, descend to this altitude, turn to this heading. 1 minute turns, 2 minute turns. It's all on a map.
Wow.
And then you just...
Did you find it easier to fly by instrument? I mean, you think,
well,
okay, you block all that out and you're just
know,
looking at your instruments, whereas when you're looking outside and seeing all these, I would think that would kind of distract your mind. But the instruments, you have one set thing to do.
Well, yeah, but you're still flying the helicopter.
Yeah.
So you still have to maintain your altitude. You have to maintain your heading.
Right.
You have to maintain all those dials up there. You still have to do it. What's going on with them? Ascending, descending. So you're still flying the helicopter, and you have direction. You can have it on a knee board. I mean, if you don't have a tower controller, okay, here's this airport. I have no tower controller. I have an ILS, and I can still land here. Mm-hmm. And you know, there's a lot of communications into the radiosphere. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm here. Where are you? I'm at 12,000 feet. Okay, you're out. You're no problem, unless you're descending at 2,000 feet per minute, and I'm in your way. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't want to do that. It is complex, and just have to think about it one thing at a time. The first thing that I forgot to do was punch the clock. Again, you punch the clock when you start, but now I have to fly downwind or fly 1 minute in this heading, and the traffic controller tells me to do that, and I forget to punch the clock.
Uh-oh.
God, where are you going? Shit. Okay, you have to see the ground no matter what.
Okay.
You may have your own personal minimums, but the minimums for this airport are that you have to see by the time you get to within 500 feet of the ground, you either have to see the ground or initiate a go-around.
Okay.
So, which means power on, pitch up, ascending, calling the go-around so that everybody around you knows you're coming out that heading that you were flying on, but now you're climbing out.
So what did you... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, then your plan that tells you, I'm talking about on the map.
Right.
The airport airman's guide will have all the specifics for this airport on it, and that's another thing, keeping up with that. Okay, I know that I have completed my turn now. I punched my buttons right, my clock is right on, and I'm right on track. If I don't have somebody visually telling me, the wind may have blown me off track.
Right.
And so if I hit this, I'm going, the radio, the Omni, stays still. And when I'm coming up on it, the arrow is pointing one way, and if I pass that, then that arrow's going to flip just like that. And that's an important indicator, especially if you can't see around you, you can't see the ground. And that's why that clock is so important. I've flown 60 knots for 1 minute or 2 minutes, and I haven't got that needle to move yet. So where am I?
Yeah.
So,
Wow. So
and you-
what did you fly in Vietnam?
I fly the UH-1.
Okay.
I think we had D models. We had D models, yeah.
Now, how'd you get to Vietnam? When did you go over?
We went over on Thanksgiving Day of 1968 on a C-140. C-140? The jet. It was a jet. C-147? No, it wasn't a 147. C-140. C-140. So we took off from Andrews Air Force Base in D.C.
Okay.
We flew down to England Air Force Base in Louisiana. And we picked up another unit, same job we were going to do, dust off,
Right.
MEDEVAC. And so we had almost 100 guys and all of our personal gear. We had flown the helicopters to Stockton, California from Fort George D. Meade in Maryland about a month earlier. And that took 5 days to fly cross country, 6 helicopters from George Meade. Weather, a little weather on the East Coast slowed us down a little bit. We stopped at Fort Bragg. We stopped at Dallas, well, Jackson. We stopped here, stayed overnight in Dallas, stayed overnight in El Paso, stayed overnight in Yuma, and the next day we hit up into Stockton Army Depot. Not too far from the Yosemite National Park. And they put them up. They prepared them they went over on a ship.
Okay.
And then we went back to Fort Meade and left from, like I just said, from Andrews. Left from Andrews and went to England, Air Force Base in Louisiana. Might have been Barksdale, I don't know. And from there, we flew to Fairbanks, Alaska. And from there, we flew into Japan. And then we hit Da Nang the next morning.
So what did you think of Vietnam when you walked out the door to see it for the first time?
See it for the first time and smell it. Definitely a smell. Tropical smell. Humidity. That.
Yeah.
The humidity hanging around. We got off. This was Thanksgiving Day there.
Oh, yeah.
So we ate at the 67th Group headquarters, and we got on a C-130, and that flew us up to Camp Evans, north of Da Nang.
Okay.
So probably halfway up to the DMZ. And our area of operations was going to be the DMZ south until we ran into the next area of operations. So I don't have any maps.
So were you pretty much stationed in one place while you were there?
Yeah, our unit stayed at Camp Evans for the whole my whole tour, which I went to a different unit, but that unit stayed at Camp Evans for 12 months,
12
plus
months.
a few days. But then they moved up farther north.
Okay.
So that was like 1970. Then so I flew with that unit until July, about the 1st of July of 1969, down at Fubai. And that was, again, let's figure half the distance from Camp Evans. Camp Evans was in, say, the middle between the DMZ and Da Nang. Fubai was half the distance back south.
Okay.
So into a different operation area. Although we covered the same. When we got to Vietnam, our primary responsibility was ARVNs, the Army of Vietnam. Although there was a battalion of the 5th Mechanized Infantry up at Quang Tri.
Yeah.
That was not our prime. It took several months to get that switched. And the Marines were second, 3rd Marines were there. And so we spent a lot of time in the Marine, covering Marines, picking up Marines, and Army, and ARVNs.
Now, were you just picking up casualties?
Yeah,
Okay, you weren't moving troops?
no,
All right.
no, our job was wounded, move the wounded. Get the wounded to the to aid station or a hospital as quick as we can. That's where they had the hospital so close to the front lines, even though the front lines were all around us, really.
So where was the hospital? Where was the hospital?
Well, there was a hospital at Evans. They had just moved there.
Okay.
Also, then they eventually moved. This 18th Surgical Hospital eventually moved up to Quang Tri.
Okay. Yeah. Did you tend to follow an operation, like an operation was going to take place,
Yeah.
and we were kind of follow, or
we
were you
knew-
just called in for any
We
medical?
did. We had standbys. We had 6 helicopters.
Okay.
We sent 1 helicopter for a week up to Fubai.
Okay.
We had, yes, there were Marine operations and Army operations going on around us.
Okay.
So we would gear up, but I mean, we were very close. We could send another ship up north. For instance, Hamburger Hill was famous, and there's been a movie about it, and it was one of these things like, well, why in the hell do we want this place? And they fought their asses off, the 1st Cat, not 101st, to take this hill. Lots of casualties, lots of KIAs. And then they walked off and left it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like, why? What was this worth all of these lives for?
Kill all these guys and just walked away.
Yeah, and then walk away.
Didn't make a bit of sense to me.
Military planners.
Yeah.
Knowing they couldn't hold it to do that. That I don't know how many times that happened. But there's the dust off and there's the medevac, and that was the call sign. When the first medevac got over there, what's your call sign? I don't know. Well, there's only one left in the book called dust off. So you're dust off. So have you been dusted off? Yeah, we got dusted off. What does that mean? That means that we had a lot of wounded, or we had wounded, and they came and got them. The 1st Cav and the 101st Airborne divisions had a company size. MEDEVAC. We flew without guns. The MEDEVACs flew with guns on the side. Some of them did. Some of them did.
So what did your crew consist of
We had
on a
a
flight?
pilot. We had two pilots. One of them was the aircraft commander, and then the pilot. So there was two people who could fly the aircraft. Then we had a medic and a crew chief in the back. So the crew chief had this, and the medic too. They stayed their whole tour with their helicopter. The pilots rotated,
Oh, really?
depending on maintenance.
Okay. Oh, sure,
Yeah.
sure. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Remember your first mission?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I went out with our operations officer. He was already, this is his second tour, and he was already an aircraft commander. And we were out there to pick up, it was 101st Airborne guys. We were out there to pick them up, and we're flying around, and there's all of a sudden another helicopter out there. And where's he going and what's he doing? And my AC started following him. And at the same time, we're trying to talk to the artillery. We're trying to talk to the people on the ground. And there's this other helicopter out there. And why are we following him?
Yeah.
We're not even communicating with him. I always wondered that. At any rate, he got oriented finally. And we made the pickup. We got out and came home. So I remember that one. I remember the first time I flew out to the hospital ship and landed on the back of the deck. That was cool. On that same, while we were sitting out there, we got a call for, there was a sick call from the USS Boston cruiser. And we went over and picked a guy up there and brought him to the hospital ship. As soon as we hit the deck on the cruiser, these little guys in white coats are running out with, "What would you like, sir? What can we bring you to drink? How about a Diet Coke?" No, they didn't have a Diet Coke. "I'll take a Coke." "Yeah, I'll take a Coke." "Water for me." Yeah,
That's
maybe.
service.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it hard to land on a ship?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on what it's doing.
No, it's not a 40-acre field. Yeah.
No, we had a little bit more experience by that time. But landing on a ship is not a piece of cake because that boat is moving all the time. It's just catching. You get a feel, just like flying is so much feeling, and you try to time that when it's coming up and you're going down and you just touch it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you can't land on a ship. Yeah.
Sure. Wow.
And then that same standby, we had some guys, an engineer. There was a team. Now, I don't know where the rest of them were. We flew right up north toward the DMZ, and they had armored personnel carriers, a couple of them, and these guys are engineers, and I'm thinking, what are they doing? Stringing cable? What are they? There's nothing out here to engineer. Are they surveying? I didn't know what they were doing. But they had a pickup, and the guy who I was flying with was from the unit, another unit, 571st. We were taking over that standby, but we hadn't gotten all of our pilots acclimated. And Mike Poyer was this guy's name. There's nothing up there. There's no hills, there's no trees, there's nothing. They're just sitting out there. I'm going, wow. What's keeping Charlie from zeroing in on these guys and just blowing the shit out of them? At any rate, we did a tactical approach. You know, coming in like this, and not going up again, but once we got down, we were on the ground and right into behind the APC, picked up the guy and D'd him out, but backed away.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. Didn't take any fire.
Did you take much fire when you were landing, or had they cleared out that area where they were loading the casualties? I mean,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes you couldn't land right away. A lot of times, if there was a gunfight going on right now, and they needed a medevac, where are you going to land? So, try a little diversion, whatever. Come in from a different direction, from maybe where they're. You know, if the guys came in and landed like this, they had full helicopters, they had 6 troopers on, and they needed the wind, and here we are, we don't need so much wind, and we can maybe come in like this, trying to get pointed into the wind.
right.
But there's some things, sometimes you couldn't do that because you'd get killed, but you know.
Just follow the name. Survive.
Let me tell you a couple things.
Sure.
We also had a standby for the Marines at a place called Vandergrift, and it is south of Quezon. South of Quezon. And so after they pulled out of Quezon, the Marines stayed on some of these little peaks around there anyway. And my AC and I went out early one morning to do a hoist mission out of Vandergrift. We landed, and there was a crew from the Marine crew was there, and first lieutenant of Marines and his co-pilot. And he says, we would like to take this mission, but we don't have an operator for our hoist. We got this hoist, but neither one of the crew guys knows how to operate it.
Okay.
So our mechanic went with them. And we took, what they normally do in the morning is they took sick call. So we took their sick call, and they went to do this hoist mission. And about 10 minutes out, the guy on the right seat was picked off by a sniper. Like they were hovering over the site. They had I don't know how far down they had the hoist. I don't know if the guy was in the basket or what at this point. But he was killed. And that's the seat I was sitting in, the right seat, in our helicopter.
Yeah.
So that was a trade-off there. That's that stayed with me forever. And when I was in Washington, D.C. with the Forest Service, I could walk to the wall, and I would go down to where his panel was and where his name was, and I would go down there and visit with him. A few times. The only time that I took fire that got hit was my friend Lloyd Young, who lives 80 miles that way. He was the aircraft commander. And in the morning, we were on standby at Quank Tree, and in the morning they had gotten a call to come pick up a guy in a firefight that was a run and gun battle, and they really couldn't pinpoint where they were. They weren't stationary, so we could go pick him up. But later in the afternoon, we flew out to a Special Forces compound and picked up a Special Forces officer. And he says, okay, here's where we're going to go. We're going to pick these guys up over here. They'll have panels out. They put panels on the ground. It was like, this is the most secure place anywhere. I mean, the guys are standing up, walking around. And then there's then there's 2 Marine gunships. We were on the same frequency with them, and they were making runs.
Huh.
And so the aircraft commander says, are you guys, what do you got going here? And they said something back. There's got the bad guys are up in this clump of trees up here. And so we went back and we came back, okay, here's where we want to land. So we came back over here and we really didn't do any evasive matter. We just go in here where this guy is standing up waving the flag. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, by the time, before we could touch down, the guys that were supposed to be here were here and shot us up. They shot up the helicopter, I think 37 holes is what they counted. Ooh. When we got it back. I mean, we couldn't fly it out.
Oh, yeah.
The hydraulics went out. When I landed it, I found that they'd punctured the fuel cell. Mm. But luckily, we got back. We didn't make our pickup. We didn't get our guy. Wow. And we went back to the Special Forces camp, sat down. One of the Marine gunships sat down. Well, they both did, one over here and one over here. And we had 2 wounded. The aircraft commander and the medic were wounded. So they took them to Dong Ha, to the Marine hospital. It was a children's hospital is what it was. Hmm. But it was the nearest hospital. And I asked that guy, the Marine, one of the pilots, I said, what was going on? Well, we were trying to give you cover, but we were trying to give you cover. That last run, we didn't have any bullets, so we just made a dry run. Mm-hmm. That's when, of course, that's when we were landing, and that's when we got shot. So these were $2 million wounds. One went through the medic's palm of his hand, like in the fat part here. Yeah. And Lloyd Young got shrapnel and down here, and on his left leg. But he had his flight helmet had a cord like you have, plugged in, and it was severed. It was severed, and so.
Wow.
And so he didn't have any communication, so he and I couldn't talk back. We're yelling at each other, and he is in pain, and so we just I got out of there. Just I don't know how. They didn't shoot us down, but they didn't. I expected a B-40 rocket. I expected a lot of things that didn't happen that day. God was with me. God was with us. Oh, he was with us. So we escaped that. I was very disappointed that we did not have an after-action briefing. Huh. That Lloyd made it back to the hospital before I did, because we came and got him from the Marines and took him back before they sent a ship out to pick me and the crew chief up.
So how long were you on the ground?
A couple hours.
That had to be kind of unnerving.
Well, it would have been, except we had the Marine, we had the, not the Marine.
Had the gunships?
We had the Special Forces.
Oh, okay.
No, the gunships left.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
We never knew they were there
okay.
to start with.
Wow.
Lloyd said, if I'd had a little more information, I'd have made a different decision. Okay, buddy. learning point, learning. And we had no briefing afterwards. We didn't lose a single person. Nobody in our unit that went to Vietnam, except one, was killed in action in that 12 months.
Wow. That's a remarkable record.
That is. It was just providential.
Wow.
And he was not in our unit. He had been transferred to one other unit and then to another unit. So, 3 o'clock? She's sleeping? Awesome.
Yeah.
So to me, that was
Did you have what you'd call a worst day while you were over there?
I would call that one.
Yeah, that's
was-
right up there.
That's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I understand you met a pretty nurse over there. You met your wife in Vietnam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought maybe she'd popped out here.
No.
Yeah. All of these pictures here, that's her.
What's the story on her? I mean, first of all, for the tape, let's get her name.
Sheila.
Sheila.
Captain Shelia. Joanne Hartup. Hartup. She came in 1969. We had one.
Yeah, we'll get this.
We had one mess hall that we all ate at the mess hall with the hospital.
Okay.
She was a operating room nurse, chief. The surgical hospital was the first hospital. Like guys that got shot and needed medical attention now, they needed to have it. They needed it right now. They
Right.
couldn't wait.
Right.
So they would stabilize. So they took Lloyd and the crew chief. That's where he went. That's where they went when they left. The closest hospital at that time was the one in Dong Ho, the Marine Hospital. So our guys came and got him, and they overnighted in the hospital at the 18th Surge. And I got to go in the next morning just to say goodbye. We didn't have time to talk about anything, and he was still all doped up.
Yeah.
They took good care of him. Then they sent him to the VAC hospital, and then he went from there. He went to Japan. So he was home. By the time then I got transferred to the unit south of us, and so by the time I got down there on the 4th or 5th of July, he was already home here in Mississippi. So it's his $1 million wound. That's what he calls it. Yeah.
Do they actually give you $1 million, or is
No, that would have been nice.
in life credits maybe?
It was worth $1 million to get out of the gun target line.
So
Sheila
she
was she graduated from Parkview Nursing School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. She's a 3-year nurse.
Oh sure, yeah.
A diploma nurse, and she said, I learned this later, well after we were married. She says, when I saw you stand in that mess hall, she says, that's the man I'm going to marry. And I said, you mean when you saw me stand in the mess hall, you're going to marry a man like me? No, you.
You.
Oh, well, you should have got to know me better. Anyway.
I think she could have done a whole lot worse in life.
Well, I don't know that, but
so you were convinced.
yeah. So she was the operating room supervisor.
Okay.
But that didn't mean a lot because they only had 2 operating room nurses. No, she was a supervisor. They worked in shifts, but they also worked as needed.
Yeah.
As needed, and sometimes that they would get like for Hamburger Hill, they got a lot of those guys in there. And the OR was running like that day and all night, trying to stabilize some of these guys. So then they went up to the DMZ, and the base commander up there took it in his head that the hospital wasn't pulling their weight as far as guard duty. So they needed all the hospital, his idea was to put all the hospital people on the guard duty rotation, including nurses.
What?
And doctors.
What?
And that's when they left. That's when they left Fubai. They
Yeah.
weren't there that long. Sheila was already back in the States. She'd finished her tour. But that's when they went to Quang Tri.
I can see why. Picture 1.
Okay.
Put picture 2 up.
Oh, I'm not even
Oh,
in
you
that.
got that? Oh, wow.
Okay,
Got it?
yeah. Was it only the 2 pictures?
Yes, just these two.
That's the two that I think. yeah,
Wow.
I thought there was 3.
There might be a third one, I'm looking around.
We go.
Okay, so where do you go for your first date in Vietnam? Just-
We had, well, remember, no, I didn't tell you this. The base we were sitting on was where the 1st Cavalry had been
yeah.
before we got there. Then the 101st came in there. They were at Camp Eagle, but they had a battalion up there. There's an operations center there that they had dug into the ground and then fortified. And that became our club. That became the hospital dust-off club.
Okay.
So that was our first day.
Yeah. So what was your rank at that time?
I was a W1.
Okay.
Yeah. WO1.
So was it a fancy proposal? Did she get down on one knee and beg you to marry her?
No, but by the time I asked her to marry me, I was in Germany. I was in Germany then.
Well, you had playing hard to get, huh?
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
So
We
when did you get married?
The 19th of December, 1970.
Wow. Didn't take long.
Oh, no, we didn't have that many dates for sure, but
Yeah.
we did go to Hong Kong on R&R. She wanted to buy a bunch of electronic equipment there. And so I helped her get that done. She got some clothes made. I had some clothes made.
Yeah.
We took, Hong Kong is just a fascinating place. The hills and all the culture, the Chinese culture, of course. And it's a shame what's happened.
Oh,
there
yes, yes.
since the Brits had to leave.
Well, so I take it you have children from that marriage.
Oh yeah, that's all the. You haven't heard from my children yet, huh?
Yeah, give me the list on. Give me the rogues gallery there.
Yeah, we got about 3 minutes. So,
Jennifer. Okay,
on this date.
Jennifer was born in 1974. No,
Okay.
5.
Yeah.
Her sister Elizabeth, Dylan's wife, was born in 76. We had Brian, who was born in 1980, and Paul, who was born in 1982.
Okay. They all done okay in life, and
They're doing all right.
yeah,
They are making it on their own now.
yeah. Mine are always doing great and not so great and great, and
Oh.
it's a balancing act. You always kind of worry about them a little bit, but
Yeah.
I've been blessed with good kids. I'm
Okay.
very fortunate. Yeah. So, what what would you say about Sheila? I mean, what is it that you love about her, and what makes her special to you? Go ahead.
Okay, what is special about Sheila Yeck? And that is, number one, she is the most caring, loving person that I have ever met. And I wrote this, just, dear Sheila, my best friend, my wife, my lover, our children's mother, a loving grandmother, a nurse supreme, my American hero. You are leading me. Oh, you are leading me to heaven. Child of God. Happy 80th birthday, my dearest Sheila.
Wow.
So that's the nutshell.
That sums it up well.
She was a nurse till the day she wasn't. Professionally and I don't know, emotionally, there wasn't anything she wouldn't do for her children. There wasn't anything she wouldn't do for me. She suffered. She suffered for so long from her wartime experience. I didn't know her before, so she was always the same.
We interviewed a fellow in Fort Wayne years ago, and his wife was the same situation. But as he talked about her, she was alive again and vibrant and downright sassy. And I just love the picture that he painted of her. Mm. And I think of my own Sue, and even after the cancer did so much damage to her, she was still that beautiful woman who'd stepped out of the car and walked my way the first time we met. I just never, ever saw her different. And I look at that picture of her in her fatigues, and I'm thinking, that has to be the image that stays in your heart, that you see.
Yeah. That's a good
And she
one.
just made a better sense.
I get to walk by that
You were,
many times a day.
to have somebody like that you can love, that's a gift. And it's hard to watch.
And her eyes tell a story for me.
I
I
really
look in
feel
her
for you.
eyes and everything comes back.
Yeah,
All of the places we've lived,
yeah,
pick up and go.
yeah.
As an RN, she was always having a job, but I mean, that was a tough life
It is, it's hard to
to start with. And then how many different
How long was she in?
situations that from the different places like Roanoke. We were in Roanoke for 18 months, and she worked at 2 hospitals, one in the city and one in the country.
Yeah.
She liked the one in the country. They were hippies. The doctors out there were female hippies. She thought they were crazy. But
Beautiful, beautiful woman.
she, when her nursing days, active nursing days were over, she says, I can't do these floors anymore. She went to work for the Veterans Administration as a claims reviewer. And what stuck with her was that in her training, they told her that if there's any way you can grant a claim, substantiate a claim,
Yeah.
you need to do that rather
yeah.
than looking for ways not to do it. So to grant if you can and deny if you must is what they told her. And that stayed with her. I mean, she was always like that. So it was easy for her. Then,
Okay.
as administrations changed and it became obvious the VA was in big trouble. The agency was just out of control. And they put so much pressure on her to just get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done.
Yeah.
She says like, the quality of the work was just not there. So when she retired on her birthday, well, actually the 30th of September 2006, and I was retiring at the end of the year. And so she enjoyed those months. Well, she didn't have to do anything. And we planned. We thought we'd planned pretty well. We ended up in Charlotte because we thought some of our relatives, our close relatives, were going to go to Atlanta. Plus we had close relatives in the Washington, D.C. area. We thought, well, we can go this way and we can go this way. But our daughter, who married a nuclear engineer, decided that she would go with him back to his hometown in Jackson, Mississippi. So that's when she was debilitated and disabled, really. We came here in the end of 2014, so we had all of 15 and all of 16 together in retirement. After we moved here.
What the heck is that?
There's a statewide 911 outage.
No,
No.
It's a safety alert.
no,
Hush
it was
now.
a FedEx guy, isn't it?
No.
Oh, you got.
There's currently an outage of 911
Oh,
Oh, okay.
across the state, and it's just called the local law enforcement agency because 911 isn't working.
oh, I thought it was the FedEx guy. I saw him punch a button.
UPS is the only ones that have that button.
Would you mind picking that up?
I'll get it at
Well,
Oh, okay.
That's a new one for us.
Yeah.
We got a 911 call on us.
So we when she got diagnosed in 2013 is when we started getting ready to sell our house in Charlotte. We'd been living there since we retired in 2007. We did live for 6 months in the Arizona desert near my stepmom. And that was good until it got hot. She couldn't stand the hot weather. I mean, we went to a Dust Off Association reunion that 4th of July in Phoenix, and it was like 118 or something like that. And the water in the pool was so hot, we just couldn't get in it. There was no refreshing in the there. So.
Yeah, we did four
But-
4 days of interviews in Phoenix in August.
Oh.
Wrong time to go.
Oh. And she was always willing and ready to go try something new. We went, in 2015, we went to Hawaii, and we went out on a catamaran and jumped in the ocean. And she didn't last very long, but she jumped in. She couldn't get herself, she couldn't relax.
Ah,
There was no way there was going to drown. And I was talking to her and I was trying to get her to relax, and she just couldn't relax. So she went back up in the boat, but she had a great time. We both did. But the attraction was watching the sea turtles come in
sure,
and
yeah.
feed, and bottlenose dolphins, and what do they call them? Spinning dolphins, spinners. They come up out of the water and they turn that way and come back. So manta ray, a big old manta ray.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. I can see why people would love to go there and love to stay there too.
Good memory.
Yeah.
So
And we'd been to the Grand Canyon, and we'd been to Sedona.
on the North Rim,
And we'd been to Alaska.
yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. My daughter's husband was in the Coast Guard, and they were on Kodiak.
Oh.
So interesting experience. So you're in Vietnam,
Okay.
and first of all, is there any more about that experience that you'd like to get on tape?
I don't mind saying this. I've never said this. When I came back, I was not such a good mental framework either. Mm-hmm. And the thing that bothered me the most was, number one, the survivor's guilt from that incident I told you about. That was always there. And number two, I got in about 500 hours of flight time in Vietnam. And I tell you what, the slick pilots and a lot of dust off pilots got in over 1,000 hours. And I thought I really hadn't done my job. That was in my mind. Mm-hmm. I don't think about it a lot anymore, but whenever I think about that, switching out with that fellow that was killed, I read about he is buried in the same grave as his dad in Marlington. So they had a little history about both of them in the article I read. It was in the Marine. It was in a Marine publication. And that I think has affected me as far as it's affected me. I'm being treated for PTSD, but it took me until 2003 before I could admit that something was wrong and I needed help. And so I go to the VA, and I've got my social worker has been a very big help for me to have somebody just to blow off with. She's not as old as I am, but she is a hippie, and she takes things as they come, and and her, it's like, Mr. Yeck, you have your beautiful wife, and you have your family, and you're sitting here with all your children, and you have your eyes open, and you're still breathing. What else do you want? I thought, well, that's all I want. That's all I ever wanted, was to be here for her for as long as God lets me be with her. Yes. That's what I pray for.
Well, your dad didn't get that kind of treatment.
No.
And probably needed it.
Oh, for course, yeah. Yeah. They didn't say anything. The VA, I don't know, the VA, maybe that's where they picked up a reputation. They were, I've seen some war movies where guys in the hospital didn't do well, but that was Hollywood, and I never paid any attention to that. But I thought there are so many guys more deserving of me for the limited resources that were available when this all started. I just said, there's really nothing wrong. There's really nothing wrong.
I'm thinking of the guys that you picked up and got out of there.
Yeah.
You were God to them.
I know. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
They were just, I'm on the ground, I'm all shot up, and I'm just hanging on to life, and this guy comes along and takes me someplace to get me help, that's
Yeah.
and you probably don't see that, but they do.
Sure. I never made a connection with any of the people, any of the guys
Yeah.
afterwards. Never accidentally ran into one. Yeah. Yeah, I had some more adventures, but you know, I never talk. I mean, it's not that I can't talk. The best landing I ever made on a hospital ship was with the guy that the medic was saying, "Come on, you got to go faster. You got to go faster."
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him. Oh no, there he is again. You know, it's like, you got to get us there. You got to get us there, and it's like, well, I put it like not on the deck because there was, you know, there was wind from over the ocean. If I'd have been at 1,500 feet, then I would have had to descend and come and do a descending turn. Mm-hmm. And what I did was I snuck up on that ship from behind, and when I got what looked to be the perfect spot, I just pulled her back, pulled the nose back, put the cyclic down, and we were on the deck. Mm. I don't know if he lived or not. Mm. But I was trying to give him, I mean, if I'd have gone a little bit more like this, we could have tipped over ourselves. It's the blade stall blade. And it's like, okay, we got to save this guy. But, you know, I have no idea. Because he was just like, 1 minute, 1 second, back again, gone, back again.
Were you very aware of what was going on in the back? I mean, you were busy flying the helicopter.
A lot of the times not, but that time we had, it was really urgent. We got to get him there, Mr. Yeck. We got to get him there. Wow. You got to go faster.
So, as your time got close to coming home, did you keep a calendar or any kind of a...
You mean a countdown?
Yeah, countdown.
10 days and a wake up? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know that I went to sick call on the hospital ship one day. I got hit in the face with a softball the day before, and I wasn't scheduled to fly that next day, so I went for the sick bay, because I wanted to see the tablecloths and the silverware. That's what I wanted to see. And they were, yeah, it was a nice place to eat. It was fancy. Those Navy guys put on a good spread, and the captain's mess. It's the captain. Was very nice, but I was grounded. That was the day I wasn't supposed to go. I was grounded once for a bronchitis, really bad bronchitis, because they had given me some medicine for it. Yeah. But I was ready to fly every single day. And a lot of days there was nothing going on.
Day finally came. It's time to come home.
Yeah.
Was it just a hurry up, or was it? Some guys just got orders and said, "Get on the plane."
Oh, yeah. No, I knew when I was going.
Yeah.
I was going. We had eventually, between the two units, we had 12 pilots to start, and George Yost had gone. He left early, and he had gone to the Highlands. He got lung disease. Mm. So he was gone, but all of the other pilots were still in the area, and all No, John Coleman wasn't there. So that left 10. So all 10 of us went home on the same day, even though we were in different units. But we were all on the same flight coming back. Oh, Lloyd wasn't with us because he'd come home earlier too. So 9 of us. Major Hall was there. He was our CO. Yeah.
Had to feel good going the other way.
It did. Yeah. It did. I got off the airplane. That's why I never got into keeping stuff. But when I got off the airplane, I took everything that was on my body and put it in a trash can at SeaTac. And I put on my khakis and my shoes and went and got my airplane ticket. Flew down first class to LA. My dad picked me up and we went out to dinner. The next day, I flew home to Dayton and was at my mom's table for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So from Thanksgiving to Thanksgiving.
That was a good Thanksgiving now.
Yeah.
So how much longer were you in the military?
Oh, I spent 10 months in Europe, in Germany, after that. Yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't nearly as exciting. It was-
Yeah. Probably a lot nicer though.
yeah, it was. I had a challenge. I had a challenge in my mind that since I'd survived the war, they had sent me to Germany to drink as much beer as I could.
Yeah. That sounded like yesterday's interview.
So I did. Yeah.
Wow. So,
And Sheila came over to visit with me, and we took a trip to Spain, and we stayed in France, Switzerland, Spain. Then we got to a resort in Spain. Yeah, that's when I wanted to propose, but I didn't. I didn't. I let her get on that airplane. I said, "Dipshit, what is wrong with you?"
so
I-
when did you propose? What's the deal
It
on
must have
that?
been about a month later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it a big project?
I think it was like, I don't know what it was. I knew she wasn't going to say no. So why didn't I ask her? It's just like, it's too much pressure.
So what'd you wind up doing for a living when you got back?
Oh, I went to forestry school. I went to work for the U.S. Forest Service in 1976,
Yeah.
and that's where my career was. A forester, a ground forest, a woodsy forester, most of the time. But the last 6 years we were in Washington, D.C., and I worked in the chief's office there. Preparing testimony for Congress, for the oversight committees. There were 6 oversight committees.
Oh.
The House and the Senate, 3
Yeah.
each. And you just had to change a nuance, a little thing here and there for each house. Yeah, who's the ranking member? Who is the chairman? What do they want to hear? What do they want to see?
Yeah.
Who's in power? Mostly the Democrats the Republicans were in power when I was here. The Democrats did come for my last 2 years.
They do all this investigating, they don't do anything else, you know?
Yeah, oh, they have their hearings.
Wow. Yeah, I get a little tired of that. So you retired when?
When did I retire from? Okay, that was in 1920. I don't know what I just said, but it was in 2007,
2007.
at the end of 2007.
Were you in D.C. when in 2001, 9/11?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. My building, the Forest Service building, looked, my office, my desk looked right at the Pentagon.
Oh.
But the side that the plane hit on, you know, it's 6 sides.
Yeah.
5 sides. It's 5
Yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
It hit on the side away from my window, so I could see this side, but I couldn't see that side.
Yeah.
And I had my head my head was on the TV when that plane hit, and one of my colleagues screamed. When I looked over there, I just saw the smoke billowing
Wow.
coming up. I missed the crash. I mean, didn't miss the crash, but
Wow.
I didn't see the crash. Sheila's office was farther north, and all the telephones were out. The cell phones weren't working, but there was a payphone
Yeah.
at USDA, and I walked across the street and I used that payphone, and I called her. Her phones were working, and we met up in front of a department store. We found we couldn't get on the train, the red line,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we started walking north. And that's when we got picked up by one cab who took us. He was going to his kid's school, and he dropped us off still out on Georgia Avenue, which is a main thoroughfare going north.
Right.
And we got to Silver Spring, and then I think there was 2 taxi rides. So, but the second one took us to Silver Spring to the train station. By then the trains were running, so we got on the train and got home. Got up to Wheaton.
Wow. What a day.
I know it. It was a horrible day.
My
Horrible.
brother was in the ag department and was able to see, he was close enough to see the smoke coming out of the
Yeah.
Pentagon.
Well, see, our building is on 14th, and the corner was on the corner of 14th and Independence. So, and the ags, that used to be the auditor's building, but all the agriculture was across the street. We were in the Department of Agriculture. So, yeah, I probably had the same advantage he did.
Yeah. Did they order an evacuation? I mean, or did you just leave?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think we did get some kind of a notification that the government was shut down. We didn't know where anything was. We didn't know if there was more incoming. But the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania was incoming. We didn't know that.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't wait to pick up my daughter from high school that day. And I knew that they would probably not attack Anderson, Indiana, or LaPel, Indiana. But I just had this overpowering urge to get with my family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I told my daughter, you look up at the sky, you will never see that again. There was not a single cloud, not a single contrail.
Right.
It was completely blue
Yep.
sky.
Yep.
And wow, that was quite a day. Did you know anyone who was killed?
I did not know anyone personally. There was a person from the Pentagon who was a parishioner in our church was killed. He was I didn't know anybody else.
Wow.
I was thinking that probably 25,000 people had been killed rather than 2,900 because of the immense size of those buildings and the number of people that were working in the
Oh my,
buildings.
that could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
They weren't doing that construction work. And some of those offices were empty.
Oh, and the Pentagon.
Oh, the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Just think of all that.
Oh, yeah.
But that Twin Towers, there weren't as many people there as there would have been an hour later.
Yeah. Yeah. And the firemen saved so many people. fire department and the
Yeah.
police saved so many people.
So, is there anything else about your life that you'd like to get on in this? Things you've been involved with in the community, or projects, or?
Well, a good friend of mine just died a week ago, and she was one of these guys like Trump. She was a disturber, and she and I partnered up right when I moved to Oxford as the district ranger there at Holly Springs. We were complaining about the principal at the high school, and next thing I know, I'm the president of the Oxford High School Parents Association. My friend and I mean, we did it. We got into the school board meeting. The school board meeting was closed. Nobody got into the school board meeting unless your kid was being expelled. And we didn't get on the program. They did allow her to say a few words about the purpose of the program. And that started it. I don't know what it is, the history today, I don't know, but that's how it started. I mean, the teachers were against us, and the principal was against us. We had one woman who insisted that we have a PTA.
Yeah.
And no, we are not having a PTA because the PTA requires principal participation. And this guy's a jackass, and we don't need his participation. We want to know what's going on with the kids in the school.
Right.
So we were way ahead of those people in Alexandria.
I wouldn't have pictured you as a campus radical.
I'm not. I'm not. I mean, here I was. I worked for the federal government. I wasn't a local even.
Not enough people speak up. They just, I can't do anything about it.
You know,
It takes something to do that.
Jennifer asked me, "Daddy, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?" She was a sophomore. "Why are you doing this?" Well, why wouldn't I do it? I mean, don't you want? Yeah. Because it needs to be done. How about that?
Yeah.
And we got tremendous participation. We knew we had to make some money to do anything as an organization, so we landed a hamburger stand, not a stand, but a cart. We cooked hamburgers at the Ole Miss games that first year, and we did. We made a ton of money. I don't know like I say, I haven't been. We moved here in 14, and I have not been to Oxford since. I'm going to Oxford for the first time since my grandson is going to be. It'll be the weekend before Veterans Day, and he's in the Navy ROTC, and so he'll be in his uniform that day, and I'll get to see him at the stadium, and that's why I'm going back.
Well, Dylan, was there anything you wanted to know more about?
You covered it all.
Okay.
But I've also been in the Knights of Columbus for 55 years.
Okay.
So that's had been a bigger part of my life than now, but because I don't have the time to be away from Sheila that often for that long.
Understand that.
I have very strong feelings. Thoughts and feelings, ideas about right and wrong. That's where I was raised.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
Moral values, moral virtues are important. Although I'm not a perfect person, I'm a wounded, broken person, and but I have found a lot of strength in my Catholic faith in the last few years. I pray to God every night that Sheila will be the first miracle cure for Alzheimer's, and more realistically, I don't have a deal with God. And I found out recently when I had my third TIA, trans-ischemic attack, that I'm closer than I think to the pearly gates, and I need to get something done about that. And so Dylan and I have been working on our trust, a family trust, to make sure if anything happens to me that she's well taken care of. So that's been a very important part of my life.
So we always ask our veterans to say a few words for posterity, some personal philosophy, something that's kind of carried you through in life. You've mentioned several good things there. Is there?
Well, I have been guilty of not being a very faithful servant. And a good and faithful servant has escaped me for so many years. I've been a very selfish person, and I see. But I always saw that if I could step up into something that needs to be done, especially revolving around schools, revolving around kids, my kids.
Yeah.
I coached all my kids. I don't know that's. None of them are any good at sports, but my grandchildren are doing okay. And with the charitable ventures. Now, there's always somebody that needs a helping hand. So I like to stand in there when I can.
I'm thinking about all the lives you affected, all the children that were born, all the things that have happened to people because you picked up that guy out of that combat zone.
Well, that's there too.
If you could just meet all of the children and grandchildren and the people who were affected by that life, and you're going to have some interesting stories when you get there.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll remember them.
Yeah.
We're down to 5.
Well,
Okay, you guys got here just
Warrant
as my
Officer Yeck,
memory
I
was.
want to thank
My
you for
memory's
this
down to
interview.
5 too, so
I want to thank you for your service to our country.
thank you very much. I appreciate you guys so much to come by.
Wow.